So you can understand this is about the process. It's about understanding bits and pieces of that process and how they interact with each other, and how the trade can eventually make money, and how you can close off the trade by legging out in certain ways. And I said to the guys this morning about this that I think it was Matt that was talking about spreads, that he really quite fancies spread trading because of, because of his personality. He likes the idea of the way that spreads evolve and work. And it is a great thing, but you've got to find a spread that you want to do, and then you've got to practice that spread for several weeks, basically until you understand it, right? Until you understand the spread, until you kind of get to know what the spread is doing and how it feels in terms of the relationships. There's a spread that's now made $130, and obviously you can obviously do whatever you like with the spreads when it's in, when that type of situation. You can start to see whether you want to take out profits, or whether you want to close it off, or whether you want to just try it again and do it all over again. And this is what we do, isn't it? This is how spreads work. This is how you end up making spread decisions. Taking a read on one and taking a read on another, and then trying to find. You can see $170 now in profit on that trade. So you can see it's now at $220 in profit on that trade, isn't it? $220 profit, guys, in that spread. So we'll just close it off so we can try another spread again at some stage. When we see another spread setting up, we'll try it again, guys. And it's just about playing with the spreads, isn't it? Literally, it's just about playing with the spreads. And that's what we're trying to show you guys. It's about trying to figure out how the spread works, and then trying to get into the spreads themselves. How do you get into the spreads? How do you get out of the spreads? What do the spreads feel like? What do they look like? I've only been doing spread trades except for the outright FTSE, but they've been part of that spread storyline that we've been talking about. And if you look at how the performance is done today, you'll see, as I said on this Ninja Trader, you'll see how the performance has done today, because that's all I've done today is these types of spread trades. This is what the performance today looks like. $5,761 in total profits. $5,761 in profits, $625 in profits. And they're only spreads, really. There's been a couple of outright FTSE trades, as I said, but you can see it's just solid green. It's just constantly solid green account numbers. And it's not always every individual trade isn't just a green trade, but every trade ends up with a green winning idea as part of the process, isn't it? It's about part of the process, and we've tried to keep the numbers in check so that you can see the basics of how these spreads work out. But you get the basic feel for how spreads do work out. You get the basic feel for how spreads play, but you've got to do it for yourself. You've got to see those things for yourself. You've got to understand those ideas. But that last spread we took, when we reversed it, this is what was happening. If you remember, the original spread was here, but we didn't have the oil trade, so that was worth about $300. This part of the spread here, what had happened was that the dollar was high, so the dollar was still quite high at that stage. So what we did was we sold the dollar, and we started to buy the real yields. How do you buy a real yield? You sell bonds. You sell bonds, don't you? So you sell bonds and you sell oil. So you're starting to sell bonds and sell oil, and that gives you an idea about how this trade should evolve. And obviously the takeaway from that was a very, very nice turn back up on real yields. And you were in it because you sold real yields. When you actually manage to take advantage of this line, you're effectively selling real yields. You're not buying into real yields. You're getting rid of stuff to get rid of your real yields because they're too low. And that's how that trade eventually worked out beautifully. $200 on a one lot. You'll take it, right? You'll take it. Spreads. Just trying them gives you a feeling that you know what's going to be happening. It gives you a feeling about what the market's doing. And that's all you can ever ask for, is to get that feeling about what you should be in at the right time. Unless you do it, you're never going to know, guys. Practice. Had some nice bond trades today. We had a nice bottom edge bond just at 9 o'clock this morning. It's been a little bit toppy at the final last leg at 12:45, and it has been selling off. Maybe a little bit too much selling coming in bonds at the moment. So I may be interested in looking at a little bond long, a little bit of a bond long position, perhaps in due course, but not yet. That's for sure. Not yet. That's for sure.